Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, we are back in the normal place. So that means I actually have a book review for you today. It's actually less of a book review, more of like a discussion about a book that I read. And that is Manhunters, How We Took Down Pablo Escobar by Steve Murphy and Javier F. Pena. Now, if these names sound familiar, it's because this is based, it's kind of what Narcos is based off of, the Netflix TV show, which we'll get to at the end. But these are the actual DEA agents that helped take down Pablo Escobar. And I picked this up because I started watching Narcos because I'm on a huge Pedro Pascal kick. If you don't know who he is, he's the Mandalorian. He's Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones and a bunch of other stuff that he's been in. And I was just like, I need to read this because I'm one of those people who, if I get really interested in like a TV show or a movie and I find out that it's based off different source material or has a novelization or whatever, like I am going to pick that up. As you can tell, I have all these novelizations right here of a bunch of movies and stuff. And so as soon as I figured out that it had a book, I was like, yo, I need to read this. So I did. And I will say that it makes the TV show Narcos hit a lot differently because there's this one scene, I think is in season 2, after Pablo starts blowing up places in Medellin and Bogota. I'm white, like clearly like the whitest of the white. So I apologize if any of these last names or locations are not pronounced correctly. I'm just going off like what I know and what I've heard in the TV show, so I don't speak Spanish. So my pronunciation will be off and I apologize right now for anything I mispronounce. But yeah, there's a scene in season 2 where Javier, also known as Javi, walks out of the CNP, which is like the Colombian National Police. Like that's where they were based when they were hunting down Pablo, like when it got like really, really serious. And it was on a day where like Pablo's sicarios were like out killing like hundreds of police officers. And like Javi comes out of the Colombian National Police Station and he's just staring, and like it's like a circular camera shot around like all the police officers that are dying in the ambulances. And it hits a lot differently now because Javier in the book mentions that there was one time where he went to a police officer funeral and there were 8 coffins, and a lot of the people that ended up being killed by Pablo Escobar and his sicarios were like really close friends of Steve and Javi. So I was just like, I felt for them. And then at the end, I'll just say that I've watched, like, since becoming obsessed with like Narcos and Pablo Escobar and the Cali cartel, and like I've even started watching Narcos Mexico, which is about like El Chapo and that Sinaloan, I think. Again, I can't remember. It's been like 2 weeks since I've continued to watch it, but it's about that cartel. And so like since I gotten interested in all this, like I've done research and I've watched a bunch of documentaries, and not once are Steve and Javi ever mentioned in any Pablo Escobar documentary that I have ever seen. And there's a reason for that. It's because they basically got like written out of like DEA history. Like they sent like paperwork to the Attorney General's office to like for like the recognition for catching Escobar, and they missed the deadline by like a month or so, and so they were going to submit it for the next year, and so they did. But what the DEA and the government ended up doing was taking their names off of it and putting their supervisors' names, who had like didn't do anything in terms of like trying to catch Escobar. And so like they didn't get any recognition, which is why I am so thankful to Netflix and the writers of Narcos for finally telling their stories and like getting it out there that these are the men who actually caught Escobar and were on the front lines and lost friends and, you know, saw some shit and like did some shit. And I'm just like, I applaud them so much. And if you've seen Narcos in season 2, when Javi is in the bar in Texas, there's 2 guys sitting next to him, and it's the real Javier Pena and Steve Murphy, which I thought was really cool that they included them in that. So, you know, they kind of got to cameo. No one really knew unless you like knew what they looked like, or you'd like done research, or you heard like behind the scenes trivia or stuff of it. So I thought that was really cool. I did notice that they left out their boss, Joe Toft, who got a lot of the recognition and was actually the inspiration for what happens at the end of season 3 of Narcos. If you haven't seen it, like, I'm going to spoil it. I can't talk about it without spoiling it. So at the end of season 3, or at the beginning of season 3, Javi, after getting sent home, after being involved with Los Pepes, which he was not in real life, it was a rumor spread around by journalists. So I thought it was kind of cool that they kind of like entertained the idea of like, ooh, what if they did? And like that was the whole like season 2 of Javi's arc, was being involved with Los Pepes, which was run by the godfathers of the Cali cartel, who obviously wanted Escobar out of the way because they didn't like appreciate like how violent he was. Whereas like they always said that the Cali godfathers treated their cocaine business kind of like Wolves of Wall Street. So they were like more I guess high class, you could say. I mean, they were still drug dealers and narco traffickers, but you get the point. So at the end of season 2, Javi is sent home. And then at the beginning of season 3, he comes back to Colombia and like helps take down the Cali cartel, which he did in real life. He did in the real Javier Pena ended up going back to Colombia to help take down the Cali cartel, which I thought was really cool that was actually like a real thing, because I had heard that Javi wasn't even there when they took down the Cali cartel. So I thought I was pleasantly surprised. But at the end of season 3, they find out that I think the guy who's like running for president, Samper or whatever, had taken money from the Cali cartel, like in campaign donations. And basically like the Colombian government knew about it. They didn't care. They let it happen. And so, in the TV show, Javi, basically like whistleblows and then resigns from the DEA. Well, that didn't really happen to the real Javier Pena. It happened to their boss, Joe Toft, which I thought was nice that he was left out of the Netflix TV show. But there is one thing I will say. In the TV show, there's a character called Horacio Carrillo, I think. Again, not good at Spanish or Latin pronunciation. I suck at it. I'm sorry. But then Carrillo ends up getting shot by Pablo Escobar himself in like the middle of season 2, and then Colonel Martinez ends up coming in and like helping them catch Pablo Escobar, which he actually did in real life. Carrillo wasn't a real person. They kind of like took Carrillo and Martinez and smashed them into one character for like the first half, the season 1 and like the first half of season 2, and then Martinez actually came in. I like Martinez a lot better than I like Carrillo. Don't ask me why, I just do. Colonel Martinez is a better character, and I will die on this hill. I said what I said. So yeah, that's my extremely rambly review and discussion of Narcos and Manhunters, how he took down Pablo Escobar. And I will see you guys later. Bye!